France is hiding countries, not just one, but entire nations scattered across the globe, and most people have no idea they exist. There's a version of France no one teaches you about. It's not in Europe, it's in the Caribbean, the Pacific, the Indian Ocean, South America, and it holds the key to one of the biggest power plays in global geopolitics. In this video, we're uncovering how France secretly expanded its empire without colonizing anything new, and how these hidden territories make it the most powerful maritime force on Earth, legally. But the story isn't just about maps. It's about influence, money, war, and something that could shift the balance of power across the globe. So here's a question: where does France end? Most people would say Europe, the Eiffel Tower, Paris, croissants, maybe the French Riviera, but that's just metropolitan France, the part glued to the European mainland. The other France? It's called La France d'Outre-mer, overseas France. Réunion, a volcanic island east of Madagascar, Guadeloupe and Martinique in the Caribbean, French Guiana, a slice of Amazonian jungle in South America, Mayotte in the Comoros archipelago, New Caledonia, French Polynesia, and Wallis and Futuna in the Pacific. Even a slice of Antarctica, no joke. Together, these are not colonies, they're part of France. They use the euro, they vote in French elections, and in some cases they send members to the French Parliament in Paris. So, why is this a big deal? To understand the real power of overseas France, you have to understand a concept called the Exclusive Economic Zone, or EEZ. It's basically ocean real estate. Every coastal country gets a 200 nautical mile zone from its shoreline where it controls fishing, mining, and drilling rights. Now imagine what happens when you don't just have a shoreline in Europe, but also in the Caribbean, the Pacific, and the Indian Ocean. France's overseas territories give it ocean claims across every major ocean on Earth. Add them up, and France controls the largest EEZ in the world, over 11 million square kilometers. That's more than the United States, more than Australia, more than Russia. And here's the wildest part: that massive maritime empire doubles the size of the European Union's EEZ, just because of France. Think about the implications. That's more fishing rights in biodiverse waters, access to undersea minerals like rare earth metals and hydrocarbons, naval military positioning in key geopolitical regions, strategic launch sites for space operations. Yes, French Guiana is home to Europe's spaceport. And even nuclear testing. France conducted over 190 tests in French Polynesia from 1966 to 1996. This isn't just about old territory, it's active global leverage. There's a reason people barely hear about these territories. Because not everyone in them wants to stay French. Let's take New Caledonia, for example. It's home to massive nickel reserves, a metal crucial for making batteries, especially for electric cars. In recent years, as global demand spiked, control over those mines became politically explosive. And guess what? New Caledonia held referendums on whether to break away from France. 3 votes, 3 close calls, and tensions are still simmering. Other territories, like Mayotte or French Guiana, have struggled with poverty, inequality, and questions about whether they truly benefit from being part of France. So the French government walks a tightrope: promote these places as full members of the Republic, while downplaying them just enough to avoid public scrutiny. Why? Because if even a few of them left, France's massive EEZ shrinks dramatically, and so does its global influence. France isn't the only country with overseas territories, but it's one of the few that treats them as official departments. Like California is to the US, it's a clever legal move. Instead of having colonies, which come with a lot of PR problems, France calls them droms and coms, départements and collectivités d'outre-mer. On paper, they're equal. In reality, it's complicated. These territories often get less investment, face higher unemployment, and are prone to unrest. But they also get EU citizenship, the euro, access to French social programs, and military protection. It's a mutual deal, but not always a fair one. And many French citizens, even those living in mainland France, have no idea these places exist. Or that they're the reason France has military bases on islands most people can't find on a map. So here's the big reveal. France isn't hiding these places because they're a secret. It's hiding them because they're a strategic advantage, one it doesn't want the world to question. Think about it. A nation that appears small on land, but holds power in every ocean. A quiet giant in the global resource race. And a country that expanded its empire, not through war but through legal frameworks, voting systems, and clever geography. It's not that France forgot to tell you about these countries, it's that most people never thought to ask. So the next time you look at a map of France, remember, You're not seeing the full picture. From the Amazon rainforest to the tropical lagoons of Polynesia, from Indian Ocean volcanoes to Antarctic outposts, France is everywhere, and it's been quietly building a global empire in plain sight. Not with armies, but with islands, oceans, and international law. And the question isn't just why France hides them, it's what happens when they're no longer hidden. Want to see how America tried to do the same thing? Tap the video on screen. It gets even messier.